Hi everyone, this is CMA Swarupa Vishwanathan and welcome to our channel. So our channel has a lot of resources available for CMA students to prepare for their exams. So do check out our channel and subscribe to our channel. And if you like this video, please click on the like button and drop in your comments, your feedbacks, which will be useful for us to go ahead. So coming to today's topic, we will be discussing CMA Inter Business Law and Ethics question paper of June 2024 that was conducted yesterday. So we'll just go through the questions and see what are the answers. So first we'll go to the MCQs. The first MCQ, which of the following is not a major law in any modern society? The options are custom, judicial precedent, legislation, and executive order. The answer will be customs. Because all the other things, if you see, it is all relating to law. And custom is not a law in any society. Agent is a person employed to do any act for another or to represent another in a dealing with first person, second person, third person. The answer is third person because agent represents the principal in a contract with a third person. In case of a sale by auction, if the seller makes use of a pretended bidding, then the sale is voidable at the option of the buyer. Which of the following is not a type of endorsement in case of negotiable instrument? You can have blank, full, restrictive or conditional endorsements. You cannot have a written endorsement. Endorsements are always written. Okay, there is nothing like a written endorsement. Implied authority of a partner is to carry on the business of a firm in a usual way. Okay, so there is no casual way of carrying on a business. There is no special way of carrying on a business. You can carry on a business just in a usual manner. Chapter 5 of Factories Act provides for welfare measures. This is the direct MCQ. Section 55 of Code of Wages Act talks about offences by companies, which is also a direct question. Dash means a company in which the other company has a significant influence, which is not a subsidiary company. Whenever a subsidiary company, not a subsidiary company means holding company is gone. Okay, there is joint venture. You cannot have small company, foreign company. So it has to be associate company. Annual return of an OPC in the absence of company secretary shall be signed by the director. This MCQ, I had taken it in my community discussions just yesterday. So those who have seen those MCQs, they could have easily cracked this question. The startup company may issue sweat equity shares not exceeding 50% of the paid up capital up to 5 years from the date of its incorporation. Okay. Where equity shares are listed in a recognized stock exchange, whenever the shares are listed in a recognized stock exchange, SEBI will come into play. Where auditor is dissatisfied with the information provided and finds that he cannot express a proper opinion. Here you have to see this. He cannot express a proper opinion. Then he has to give a disclaimer of opinion. Every listed company shall establish a vigil mechanism for Dash to report their concerns. So vigil mechanism is an internal mechanism, and whenever there is an internal mechanism, it will affect your internal holders, which is the director and the employees. Which one of the following is not an attribute of emotional intelligence? Emotion, we self, social, relationship, these are all connected with emotions. What is not connected? Corporate management. Holders of a public office must act and take decision impartially, fairly, on merit, without discrimination or bias. That the principle is integrity. The term integrity means without bias. Without bias, without discrimination, fairly, if you are doing any work, that is called as integrity. Now we will go to the theory questions. So the first one, all theory questions are direct questions from the book. So if you have read the study material, then all the questions you will be able to attempt. So all of them are direct questions. Even the case study is pretty much direct. Explain the enforcement of contingent contract with example. So contingent contract means contracts which are contingent on happening of an event. The contract will materialize on happening of an event. Okay. So you can give the example. X agreed to pay 50,000 to Y if he marries Z. Okay. So this is a contingent contract. Only on happening of the event will this contract materialize. If X does not marry Z, then the contract does not materialize. That is contingent contract with an example. Enumerate the duties of a bailier and the care to be taken by the bailee. The duty of the bailier is that he has to uh, tell the bailee or inform the bailee of all the flaws in the bailment or in the goods bailed. Okay, so all the flaws need to be informed to the bailee. That is the main duty of the bailier. And in case he does not inform the flaws and because of which the bailee had to incur some damage, then the bailier is responsible for that. What is the care to be taken by the bailee? The care to be taken by the bailee is he has to take care of the goods bailed just like he would take care of his own goods. So he has to take care with a good amount of prudence. Okay, that any common man would take care of his own goods. So this is the main point that you should be writing for this question. Examine the grounds on which the court may direct dissolution of the firm. This is again a direct question. So for dissolution of the firm, in case of insolvency of partners, yeah, or where a partner transfers the share of his partnership to another person, okay, a partner is incapable of performing his duties, unsound mind, or any other reason the court as may feel just to order for dissolution of the firm, they will order dissolution of the firm. So for 7 marks, you can write 7 points at least. Explain assignment of negotiable instruments and what would be the difference between negotiation and assignment. So the difference between negotiation and assignment is that in case of assignment, the property is not being transferred, whereas in case of negotiation, the property is being transferred. So the consideration is pursued until the contrary is proved in case of negotiation, whereas in case of assignment, he has to prove the consideration. And assignee's title is always subject to the original title. Whereas in case of negotiation, the holder in due course gets a title free from any defects. So in case of negotiation, a notice of transfer is not necessary, whereas in case of assignment, a notice of transfer is necessary. Negotiation can be by mere delivery or by endorsement of and delivery, whereas in case of assignment, it has to be in writing to prove that there is an assignment. Then the fourth question, prepare a list of different powers exercised by the inspector. The powers exercised by the inspector, it is a repeated question that is coming in our exam for past few attempts. So the main powers of an inspector under Factories Act is that he can examine the premises, he can examine the machinery, he can examine the books, and he can inquire into any accident that has taken place, and he can seize the documents, he can seize any of the records if he feels it is necessary, he can seize any article if he feels it is necessary for examination. So these are some of the powers of a inspector under Factories Act. Then fifth, so here it is examination and seizure of documents. Discuss in detail about the application and belated application in case of gratuity. So in case of gratuity, you need to make an application in Form I, and then the employer will make a notice in Form L, okay, stating the amount that will be paid as gratuity. In case the claim is not admissible, the Form L has to be submitted with the controlling officer as well. Gratuity will be paid either through cash, DD or check. In case there is a nominee, nominee will apply in Form J and the amount will be paid to the nominee. And there is no claim for gratuity under the Act that shall be invalid merely because the claimant failed to present the application. Then, critically assess the conditions for secured debentures. Secured debentures are debentures issued for 10 years. In case of infrastructure companies, it is extended up to 30 years. And within 60 days of allotment, we need to have a debenture trustee appointed. The debenture trustee will act as a safekeeper and as a representative of the debenture holders. And you can mention about the debenture trustee, how the debenture trustee is appointed, how he is removed. So those can also be added in this answer. Discuss the different qualifications for appointment of director. The disqualifications for appointment of director. A unsound mind, a person who is an insolvent, an undischarged insolvent, a person who has committed any offense involving moral turpitude with an imprisonment of 6 months, and 5 years have not been expired since that time, or someone who has not filed, who has been a director in a company that has not filed annual return for last 3 years. Then the next question is audit report. What are the points to be stated in the audit report? In audit report, the auditor should state whether he has obtained all the information necessary to form an opinion. He has to mention about related party transactions. He has to mention about directors' qualification, disqualification, if any. Okay, so these things will have to be mentioned by and whether the financials are matching with the books of accounts and whether they state a true and fair view. So all these points you can mention under this question. Discuss the different rights of the shareholder as per Companies Act. There is a complete section that was provided in the study material for this. So rights of shareholders, by now, if anybody who has learned Companies Act, you will be able to just write the shareholders from your overall understanding about the Companies Act. So shareholders are the major contributors, and they are the ones who are having maximum rights. So they have the right to vote, they have the right to dividend, they have the right to hold meetings, they have the right to appoint a director, to remove a director. So these are some of the rights that you can mention under this. Business ethics, it's a straight question directly from your book, so I'm not going into that. We'll go to question number 8. Mr. Amal, who was so badly drunk that he cannot sit properly on a chair, enters into an agreement with Vimal in the evening to sell his office. The next day, Mr. Amal declares that he was overdrunk last night, and now he's not willing to transfer the space. So, whether it is, the question is that whether the contract is valid. So the most important condition for a valid contract is both the parties should be of sound mind. Here, Amal was not of sound mind because he was drunk. He was not in a position to take right decisions. And hence, the contract cannot be said to be valid because the major important condition for the valid contract is not met here. The next question, Board of Directors of ABC Limited appointed Varun as the additional director to look after the general operations of the company. Later, the shareholder Mr. Arun challenged the decision of the Board of Directors and filed a case in the court of law. Mr. Arun stated in his petition that Varun is not competent as he does not hold any professional and academic qualifications. State with reasons whether the board of directors should review and change the appointment. Okay, so what is the reason provided? That he does not have academic qualification. So here we have to mention what are the qualifications and disqualifications of a director. Okay, director's qualification and disqualification. Here already the question has been answered on the disqualification. So a professional qualification or an academic qualification is not one of the criteria for appointment of director, and hence the director appointment cannot be cancelled just because of this one reason provided by Mr. Arun. So that should be your answer, supported by the qualifications and disqualifications of director. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope the discussion will be useful for you in future as well. Thank you so much. Do subscribe to our channel. If a great day. Thank you.